What is up, everyone? It is DJ Martini Midwest Reviews coming at you with another video for my channel. Today I have the OneXPlayer 2. That's the dose coming at you with a little bit more technology and things like that. This is gonna be a quick review, tutorial, kind of go over as much as I can. I got a lot to get to, so we're gonna jump right in. Just know that I am DJ Martini Midwest Reviews. All I like to do is review items. I try to bring valued items, try to bring cool items that you don't see a lot of videos on. I know this one you might see a lot of videos on, but I do maybe have a couple extra things that maybe other people don't talk about. So thank you so much for tuning in. Just know I love to do the research. I love to help. I like to give it to you as easy as possible and then leave some links in case you're interested. So just want to tell you, we are steadily growing. Thank you so much. Join the Martini Nation and let's continue to grow with great subscribers, great feedback, just like a cool little family just trying to help. And thank you so much. Let's continue. It's awesome. Thank you. All right, let's jump right in. Let's grab the actual OneXPlayer right here and go over it really quick. This is the OneXPlayer. It does have a screen protector on it. On the top here, you do have, that is a micro SD card, 3.5 millimeter jack. Right here, you do have a USB, I think this is 3.2, and then you do have a USB Type-C port on the top and the bottom. On the top though is for charging, so make sure you charge it on the top only. Intake vents on the back and one on the top. And then you do have your bumpers and triggers that feel really, really good. You do have your release buttons for your controllers, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Once again, USB Type-C on the bottom, which is kind of hard to get to. I don't know why they put it on the bottom. I wish they would have just maybe put it on the top. A 5-pin little readout for your keyboard. You do have some buttons over here, a turbo button. It's not a volume button. But I'll show you what it does here in a little bit. And then you do have a power button. You do, let's see if you can see that, you do in gold kind of, it's like a goldish color. You do have A, B, and X, Y. You do have your nice joysticks. They do feel really, really good. We'll shut your lights off, and also a controller keyboard mode and a controller mode. Have a D-pad, and which is in your joysticks. So pretty cool little device. It does have some weight to it. It is a little bit heavier than most, but it does have an 8.4 inch screen, which is all I have to say, because it does have a really big screen, which does come in handy and looks fantastic. In the box, really quick, check my unboxing out, but it does come in a box like this, which looks very prestigious. It looks really good. It's almost like opening an award when you're getting it. It's pretty cool. I did happen to get some freebies. They sent me a little USB memory stick or flash drive. They actually sent me for free a little adapter hub has a USB 3.0 port. It also has a 3.1 and it has an HDMI, which I would suggest getting a little hub like this, USB Type-C, but this one has Type-C port, 3.2 port, 2 or 4 2.0 ports, and it does have an HDMI on the back side. You can see that's plugged into my monitor right now, and I'll show you that in a little bit as well. Also, what came in the box, it doesn't come with it, but I did order a keyboard. I wanted to try out to see if it was any different than the old keyboard, which I really don't think it is. I don't think they improved this at all. The mouse pad is still very hard to use. The keyboards, like if you don't push down on the button really hard, it doesn't really register. So the mouse pad is just still not really great experience. Does get the job done, but not a great experience, we'll put it that way. And then I also did I got a case as well to protect it, and I would always tell anybody to get a case with it, but not too bad on some of the accessories. So let's get into the specs right away. I want to just get the specs out of the way just to let you know what the OneXPlayer is working with right here. So it does retail for $959, which is kind of expensive, but you got to remember that it is a PC. It is a mini mobile computer, and you could do all kinds of cool stuff on it. It does have, this one particularly has 16 gigs of RAM with a 512 gig SSD hard drive. So, and you know, trying to find a normal PC for that price, and you would be pretty comparable. So you just have to think of it as a computer instead of as like just a gaming niche type had, okay? Now, they do have a Ryzen 7840U out already, so they have upgraded this model already, and it has 32 gigs and 1 terabyte for $1259. So it's about well, it'd be about $400 more plus tax and fees and things like that. That could be a hefty upgrade for, 32 gig and 1 terabyte. It'd be a pretty good price and something you might want to do. So I just wanted to let you know that that is out there and available. This one is a 6800U, like I said, 16 gig, and it does have a 512 gig memory, but easily upgraded with a USB drive, or you can use that SD card, micro SD card reader to upgrade to like a 1 terabyte if you want to do something like that. I do use the silicon powered 1 terabyte, and it's $55. I'll leave a link for that. It's a great little A2 card that will work really, really good in your Steam Deck, and I've had pretty good luck with it. I have 2 of them, running one in my Steam Deck and my OneXPlayer, so just something to let you know. Sorry if I said Steam Deck. I'm getting them confused now because I'm looking at the Steam Deck behind me as well. You can get this in a black or white model. This is the white model, of course, and I think it looks fantastic. I think it's definitely a great option if you want to stand out a little bit. It does come with Windows 11 Home 64-bit, 8.4-inch screen with the 2.5K, 2560 by 1600 pixels, 350 nits, and 355 ppi. And then on the SSD storage, it is a M2 28 or 2280 PCLE. All right, something to point out really quick too is that your memory will be separated on the 512 gig. So you'll have a 300 gig D drive and a 163 gig C drive, which is a little bit short of that 512, just to let you know what you're getting there. You definitely can upgrade this to 32 gigs and to 2 terabytes of memory as well. So this does come with the Harman Audio EFX, which is a cool little upgrade for the sound. It does sound pretty good. It does have good clarity. I'll definitely give it that. But the bass still is lacking a little bit, and you get tones at best. They don't sound very fantastic with the little drivers that are in it, but probably easily noted. But it does have some pretty clarity, and it does have enough volume to do whatever you want to do. It's not going to fill a whole room, but it definitely has volume for when it's right in front of you. So something to point out there. Great joysticks, pro level, they're saying, with great refresh, dead zone, and drift free. So definitely improvements there. 65 watt battery and charger. It's a 65.5 watt hour battery, and it's saying it can get easily the 3 hours of 60 FPS gameplay with your top AAA games, and 8 to 9 hours of video time. We're going to talk about that in a second, but definitely upgraded their battery a little bit. Other than that, it does have a lot of intakes and vents for to keep the unit cool, and I will say that it, for the most part, does a pretty good job of that. But it does blow pretty hot air out of that top of that, so just to let you know. Some of the accessories you might want to buy with this, for sure, is you definitely want a USB hub. That is something that it's kind of a must, especially for setup and things like that. You want something like that just to make it a little easier, because you can hook up a mouse or you can hook up other accessories with a dongle to make it easier for setup. So they do sell a dock. It's $79, but you can easily get anything off Amazon or something like that for around $30 or less. They actually, like I said, sent me a freebie, one like this. So I don't know, maybe if you send an email or something like that, when you purchase and say, hey, can you throw something in, they might do that for you. They also have the protection case, is $20, keyboard $59, a stylus $40, screen protector $20. The controller connect, which I'll show you in a second, is $59, and that's about it. They do have an elite package setup where if you buy 4 of the items in the elite package, you get 4 of the items and you'll save $40. So I think it is a good deal. You'll actually get the keyboard, the protection case, a screen protector, and a stylus, which is that $40 extra. You'll get it for $99. So if you buy it in a package, they definitely package their items well, and I think that's a pretty good value. I also think that the pretty decent value for their accessories. I don't think they quite crazy price them like some other companies do. So pretty cool there, in my opinion. Definitely want to go ahead and fire it up. So you do have your power button right here. We'll fire it up and you can kind of see that it is pretty quick and it looks fantastic. So there's the OneXPlayer logo, and boom, it's up. It's up and running, it's ready to go. And like I said, that touchscreen is responsive and really feels good. I'm going to remind me later on that. And so then here's your home screen. You definitely have your normal Windows home screen. But like I said, the way that the screen and everything works with the touchscreen works fantastic. I would recommend a screen protector on this, but make sure you get a good one or a decent one. I'll leave the link for the one I have here. But that will definitely be a factor for, you know, hooking this up, and the way that your touchscreen works as well. So I definitely want to show you a couple things here. So everything is there. Another thing that I want to kind of point out is updates. Make sure you do your updates on this. It's very easy. All you got to do is go to your settings, go to your little Microsoft Windows logo, your screen, and then go to settings. Go to the bottom here where it says updates on the bottom. All you got to do is go to updates. Kind of hard to get it. Check for updates, and it will check for updates. Also, on a couple toggles down, it says advanced options. You want to go to there and then see if it has any optional updates as well that I just pushed. Optional updates right there. So definitely want to check that out as well. All right, so make sure you get those optional updates is done as well. So always keep this thing updated, and that way you'll kind of help the life of your little OneXPlayer here. So let's go into how this thing sounds. I just want to give you a quick demo of how it sounds. So we're going to go ahead and I'll go to my royal free music here. So once we get that fired up, you can hear it in the background. And like I said, if you have this in front of you, that's plenty loud in my opinion. It does have a little bit more volume that I could turn it up, but I don't want to get it distorted or anything like that. But I think it sounds really good. And like I said, this is kind of recorded, royalty-free music. And so the quality is maybe down a notch, but if you actually have premium sites that you're using, you definitely get some pretty good volume out of this. Especially like on this piano clip, I think it sounds really good. There is some clarity to it, and I can appreciate that. Like I said, the bass is lacking, but you wouldn't expect much from little drivers that are coming out of this. And they are down firing. But that definitely has some volume right there. But you can see right there, it definitely has volume, and when you're listening to videos or anything like that, sounds good too. Now when you're gaming, I definitely would recommend putting some headphones on. Other than that, like I said, pretty good speakers for the most part. One other thing I wanted to show you for sure is the controllers, of course. So if you can see in the background right there, on their website, it shows a person with the monitor like this, the keyboard connected, but he has the controllers like he's doing something with these controllers. These do not work at all because they don't have any power to them. There's no power to them, so you have to hook them up to an accessory, which is this power pack right here, and it has a wireless dongle to connect it to the item as well. So you absolutely need this. This is $60. I like how they made this kind of look like the Switch where you could do something with these, but these absolutely do not work. They have no power to them, so you can't do anything with them unless you have this accessory. So I definitely wanted to point this out. So these easily go into this accessory though, and it did take me a while to get this. I just had some trouble ordering it from the actual company. They said I misaddressed it, but I've ordered things from them before, and somehow it got misdelivered and ended up getting sent back to them. So I had a whole time, 2 months of trying to get this piece. So I finally got it, but you can see that this does make a nice little controller. It easily turns on with a press of a button and lights up. Looks pretty cool actually, in my opinion. It does feel like pretty comfortable in your hands when you're using it. It is unlike anything PlayStation, Xbox, things like that I've ever held onto before, but it does work and connects to this via a wireless dongle, which is in the back right here. So you just take this off. It actually has a cool little button in there that you push to pop that out, and you can see that it works fantastically as it just shot that all up in my camera screen. So I will grab that, but you do plug it in to your OneXPlayer screen any way you want to. If you had a dock or something in there too, you could. And this will easily connect and you can play games with it. So this is pretty cool. I do appreciate this. I wish it was Bluetooth actually. You can shut the lights off just like you would on the controllers. Has everything you need. Hook up the dongle really quick just to show you that it does connect. So you see it does pop up menus and works the way it should. And I can toggle, you can see me toggling through there. So definitely works, pretty cool. It is nice to have an optional controller that works with your device. So it is kind of cool in that perspective that it does kind of work kind of like a Switch, but you do need this accessory. And I would also remind everybody to shut it off physically, because I did have an issue where I fully charged this and then I don't know if it does not automatically turn off. And so when I went to use it, it only had like 10 minutes of charge left. So I ended up having to charge it again. These do go nicely back in. Like I said, you just start at the top, they'll fall in and they slide right in like that. I'm going to take this dongle out. Get back to my menu buttons here just to show you what everything does real quick. So I will show you that this top button does bring up your keyboard and takes it off. This other button is not doing anything right now. The turbo button does bring up a menu, so you can bring all your statistics on, performance and things like that, brightness, volume. So that's easily done, so you don't have to go to a special place. You can go right here on your turbo button, right there. This key right here you can turn, you notice it has the nice LEDs around the controllers, and down here you can easily turn those off with a hold of the button there, and it'll shut those off. That will conserve some battery life. And then you do have your mouse keyboard button, which kind of basically it puts it in controller mode or a keyboard mouse mode. So it's not a keyboard button, but it's puts it in the two different modes on how you want to, because right now I do have a mouse here. You can see I'm controlling a mouse and I can click like it's a mouse on the top here. They will perform a different function if you're in game mode or something like that. But this button is not doing anything. This button is not doing anything. This takes me to an internet browser automatically. So just something to keep in mind right there. There is a BIOS update that does correct some of these things, but I'm a little scared to do it, so I haven't done it yet. But hopefully there's a good video that comes out on that, and I'll follow it to the T and see if I can get that done on mine. But just something to put out there. Other than that, I do like the OneXPlayer and all its feature set. Let's go over a little bit of positives and negatives. First, I just want to show you one thing. I did have some people saying that they had some issues plugging this into a monitor, but it is pretty much plug and play, and it worked for me. I went right to the top, hooked it into my HDMI into my screen here, and let's see if I can fire that up. So I did just plug that in, and then you can see that it does fire up pretty instantly, and it works just like any kind of extended monitor or anything like that. So pretty cool little device. So I do like the ease of that and plug and play. All right, let's go into positives and negatives and get you guys on out of here. Thank you so much. Sorry for running long, but a lot of information I wanted to give to you. Hopefully it was helpful. But let's talk about pros. Definitely it's different. I do like the upgrades they've made compared to the original OneXPlayer. They have made some improvements, and I do like this slide out controller. I do like that you can just leave it as a monitor with the kickstand, and you can play games as a controller, kind of like a Switch. It's pretty cool. The biggest improvement for me is the 8.4 inch screen. It is massive. A little comparison here to a Steam Deck. It looks bigger than the Steam Deck for sure. So definitely dwarfs it. Definitely is heavier, but it's still comfortable to use in my opinion. I do like the touchscreen. It feels really good. Make sure that you get a good screen protector that will affect some of the touchscreen, the way it feels, and how everything works. So that is good. Improved battery life. They did improve the battery life. Now I still only probably get 2.5 hours of gameplay. Honestly, I've never really got close to 3 in my opinion. So maybe, like I said, I've gotten 2 hours and 30 minutes for sure, but I've not been close to the 3-hour mark. And then using it for videos and other things, maybe games here and there, something like that, maybe in the 5-hour mark, but it says, casual video use 7 to 9 hours, I think it said, 8 to 9 hours. That is crazy. I've never gotten 8 hours doing anything on this device. So I don't know about that. In my opinion and what I've seen from it, 2.5 possibly to 3 hours gaming, AAA game, and then video probably 5 to 7 hours realistically in my opinion with battery life. So it is improved, but just not as crazy as like the Steam Deck, where I know I've gotten 3 to 4 hour sessions with AAA games with the Steam Deck in my opinion. Reasonably priced accessories, good sound, the 8.4-inch screen, colors, looks, all that kind of stuff, definitely improved in my opinion. Looks great, sounds great, and that screen is fantastic. So some of the negatives though is the updates. I'm constantly upgrading it, but that's just Windows for you. It does take a little bit, and this is a negative because it just takes a little bit. It takes about an hour to set this thing up when you're first setting it up, to get Windows right, to get the screen adjusted right, because it's going to be in a different profile and you're going to have to switch to landscape. It's going to be in like a vertical, and so you definitely have to kind of switch it, play with it, mess with it a little bit. Updates are going to take a while to get all the updates you need to get it going, working right. So it's going to take a good hour before you get to do anything fun with it. So definitely was something to put in there that you don't hear from anybody else, that it does take a while to get it fired up, get it set up, and get all the updates you need to get it going. Controller, battery, like I said, I don't know if it automatically shuts off. I haven't got to test it enough, but I definitely want to get this video out. But I would physically turn it off every time you use it. Like I said, I charged it and I think it stayed on when I charged it the first time, and then when I went to use it, it was dead. So I don't know if it has an automatic turn off on this, so something to check into. I wish it was Bluetooth and didn't have a dongle, or both. Maybe you could use a dongle or do Bluetooth. That would be nice, but yes, you have to use the dongle. It is dongle red. Runs a little bit hot from the top of this, so if you're feeling the top air, it is hot. Like, it does get pretty warm when you're doing a AAA game or something like that. And then also the keyboard, it's okay, but it's ticky tacky at best, because you do have to kind of mess with it. It's a little frustrating at times, but it does work. But you have to find its quirks and kind of use it that way. Like I said, I have to kind of click down here for it to work good, and I have to click up here on the other side for it to register certain things. So I kind of had to learn how my keyboard worked, and so maybe other keyboards might be different, but it works, but it's not a great experience. Other than that, I think that's it. Overall, guys, final thoughts. What do I think of the OneXPlayer 2? I'm loving it. It comes in a premium case. It looks really cool. I definitely get a lot of compliments when I'm out and about with it. The 8.4-inch screen is awesome. And I think the biggest thing is just remember that it's a PC. It is a mobile PC. You can do a lot of things with it. I definitely want to put a video out of me using it to DJ. I definitely could do full everything with it. I can hook it up to a secondary monitor. I could do video DJing. I could do whatever I want. So I definitely want to show you that I can get that done, how it works, what I think of it, and that types of things. So it's a PC. It is a portable gaming PC, but definitely just a PC, and you can do a lot of things with it, whatever you want with it. So I think from that perspective, it's a good value at $900 plus. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's been DJ Martini Midwest Reviews. If this is helpful at all, give me a like or subscribe, and we'll catch you really, really soon on my next review or tutorial. Catch you later.